In today's video, we're going to talk about toe spreaders, what they are, why you need them, how you should use them. Today's video is brought to you by Grown All Natural Soaps. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Grown and Healthy, the channel where we explore self-improvement through movement. Whew, it's hot. Toe spreaders allow you to create space between your toes, also called toe spacers. Why do you need this? Most conventional shoes look like this. It is narrow from heel to toe. There is no deviation in width from the heel to the toe. What's worse is that the toe actually narrows to a point. That's something that our feet do not do. As you can see from my heel to toe, that it gets wider as I go towards the toes. With a narrow toe box like this, you're asking for trouble. Eventually, your big toe is going to curve in line with the shoe. Manufacturers have decided to create a one-size-fit-all last. Instead of making wider shoes, pretty much all the shoes that conventional sneaker manufacturers sell are within a D width. Instead of E, double E, triple E, they've decided that they're gonna go all with one, and whoever doesn't fit in that, well, they're just gonna have to suffer the consequences. And that has turned out to be detrimental for most of us. There are more wide feet than there are narrow feet. For the most part, no one's toe box is shaped like this. So that means your feet have to conform. Think of it sort of like a mild binding of your feet. With this binding comes all sorts of issues. Gait problems, arch problems, bunion problems. To fix that is by giving space, the natural space that exists between the toes, giving it back to your feet. And how do you do that? By wearing toe spacers. Toe spacers are somewhat of a passive way of creating space or separation between the toes. If you've been wearing shoes like this, their big toe is going laterally to the outside edge when the big toe is actually supposed to converge. The big toes are supposed to converge at a midpoint between your body. What this means is that you're gonna make all types of adjustments to accommodate the shoe, instead of the shoe accommodating your feet. And that's the wrong way, and we can see the outcome with so many foot maladies as we do today. To start with, the heel strike. People will say that you land on your heel because we have a fatty padding on the heel, but it's nowhere near as close as the padding that you have on the lateral edge of your foot. The padding is so thick, so much more than the heel. If you were to hold your foot up like this, don't do anything to it, you'll notice that the lateral side of the foot is lower than all the other parts. You should be using the lateral edge of your foot as the suspension to land on. But instead, we're trying to find the cushioning on the heel. They're usually talking about this side right here. For some reason, we're able to walk on the heel naturally, yet we have had to add additional layers of foam in order to accommodate that pattern. Why? Because if you land directly straight, you're gonna hit that heel and it's gonna hurt. So people find a way to land like this. You can already see where this is going. If you land in this manner, guess what happens when the other foot comes over, right? So what's happening is that I land on the fattier part of the heel, I land, and I have to do that for this foot also. And so what happens is that I then start rolling. And that works very well when you have a shoe like this, because this is already pushing your big toe laterally. So it almost accommodates this faulty position of your feet. This pattern, this gait that everyone is saying we've done since the dawn of man, yet for some reason we need more padding for it, is the reason why now you're gonna need toe spreaders. Once you put this silicone rubber on your feet, you're gonna notice already that it's pushing your big toe in. What you need to do now is to align your feet and understand that it is perfectly normal for your big toes to converge medially, just like your thumbs do. All right, I know they're not exactly the same thing, but they're pretty close. Now, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna start to heel strike being barefoot, and it's gonna hurt. So you're gonna deviate back to this pattern of turning, externally rotating to accommodate that. And you're gonna think you're doing better because now you have the toe spreaders on, but you see that I'm still aimed laterally, and so will this big toe. What you'd like to do is to just land on your forefoot. This will allow you to spread on impact, and not only that, to determine the approach of your big toes. It gives you agency over the direction that you're going. If you walk onto the heel, not only will you deviate to the old pattern, you're going to roll over in the same externally rotated manner. You can see that there's not much room to accommodate the toe spreaders. Even before you buy toe spreaders, you should buy a barefoot shoe, a wide toe box, flexible, no toe spring shoe. These are 0 and 0 Zelen, very wide toe box, average toe box of a conventional shoe to the toe box of a barefoot shoe. It is a must that you wear a wide toe box barefoot shoe, 0 drop, flexible, so that you can get the most out of your toe spreaders, giving you better balance and a stronger overall foot. Anything else is going to be a waste of time. And if you aren't willing to take the foray into buying a barefoot shoe, then these should be worn only when you're barefoot. How do you use them? Well, I don't use them for sleep because they're somewhat of a menace at night. They'll slip off, they're uncomfortable. You can wear them during your working day as you're moving around. The most ideal way to wear them is when you are actually exercising. This way you have a focus of foot movement. And when you're doing exercises such as lunges, squats, foot mobility overall, you can focus on the trajectory, on the alignment of your feet. I like to do exercises that put me in a long lunge, right? And I try to get my knees as far over my big toe as possible so that you can create better patterns for your big toe. When you're wearing spreaders and the toes are going medially, you're going to have better stability, better balance, stronger feet. Because if you have a stronger big toe, then you have a stronger arch. The calcaneus inverts, and so does the big toe, to create kind of a kidney bean shaped foot, a stable neutral foot, because now the big toe can support you. Without that, the big toe can't support, the arches fall, knees buckle, hip no longer has the power that it should. These shoes are so narrow for some people's feet that it may take them months to spreading their toes. So this speeds up the process. It's not a fix-all, it's not gonna change everything, but it gets the ball rolling. Interlacing your fingers with your toes and holding and rolling back and forth, articulating it is also great. This is just the start. Understand that this does not have to be worn every day, nor should it be worn all day. Try to keep it within your exercise routine or on your intentional walks. You can get spreaders like these online. I sell them on grownliving.com. I'll leave a link below. All right, guys, this has been Grown and Healthy, the channel where we explore self-improvement through movement.